In the far distance below the clouds lies Lukla, and on the Everest Base Camp Gokyo Lakes trek you spend the first 2 days walking up this valley to the tourist hub and traditional trading post of Namche Bazar. Namche Bazar is the ideal location for trekkers to spend time acclimatising to the increase in altitude. We spent 3 nights in Namche, and there is plenty to see and do. As the air temperature at altitude warmed up each day, it was a common feature for clouds to slowly roll up the valley, so by mid-afternoon your views were obscured by mist. Early morning rises definitely afford the best views, as you can see from the same shot from the same location in these clips. Another exciting moment upon reaching Namche Bazar is that you will get your first glimpse of Mount Everest, peeking over the mountain range in the distance up the next valley we will be trekking in a few days' time. Mount Everest is subject to extremely high winds, and what looks like cloud is more often snowdrift being blown off the north face of the mountain. Namche Bazar is also home to the Sagarmatha National Park Museum, where a monument to Tenzing Norgay Sherpa dominates a panoramic vista of the valley looking up towards Mount Everest. Tenzing Norgay Sherpa and Sir Edmund Hillary were part of the first successful summit of Mount Everest in 1953. Another nice touch you will see here is a friendship monument between the countries of Israel and Nepal. A stone from the slopes of Mount Everest and one from the shores of the Dead Sea sit side by side in a symbolic gesture of the highest and lowest points on Earth. Spending time acclimatising to the altitude is an important part of making your journey to Everest Base Camp safe and enjoyable. Using the principle of walk high and sleep low is an excellent way of helping your body to adjust. While resting at Namche Bazar at night, trekking to the iconic Hotel Everest view and the Nepalese settlement of Kumjong will mean a further climb of around 500 metres and a chance for your body to adapt to the thin air. Well off the main trekking route, Kumjang offers a fascinating glimpse of Sherpa culture and what many of the small settlements along the trails are like. You can see here how ox dung is dried out to use as fuel for fires and how nature is used at its best. These are some of the kitchens from along the trails which prepare delicious meals for trekkers. Locals enjoying the simple things in life, along with their welcoming, friendly nature, are always on display. as is the ever-present importance of religion to these people. If you're planning an Everest base camp and Gokyo Lakes trek, try and set aside as much time as possible to immerse yourself in everything Namche Bazar and its surrounding areas has to offer. Leaving Namche Bazar for Tengboche gives you further perspective on how far you have travelled, as the trail wraps its way around the hills, giving you majestic views down into the valleys and up towards the towering peaks. Seeing the huge loads that Nepalese porters carry in their baskets also makes you gaze in awe, considering how heavy our small packs feel. Again, you can see Everest just popping up above that ridge behind, a little bit of cloud sitting on it. On this section of the trek, Ama de Blam is the prominent peak towering up in front of you at 6,800 metres. Tengboche sits on a ridge after yet another steep climb at 3,860 metres. At the top of the climb, you look back and admire how far you have come, with Namche Bazar now well behind you. Tengboche is the location of one of the highest monasteries in Nepal. Being allowed to sit with the monks while they meditate was a true privilege and one of the main highlights of the entire Everest Base Camp Gokyo Lakes trek. The road trains of oxen carrying their goods remain constant, as do the footbridges zigzagging back and forth across the valley. Every turn on the trail affords another photo opportunity, as Tengboche and the monastery slowly disappears behind us. Trekking towards Dingboche, you notice another cool change as you pass 4,000 metres for the first time. The vegetation subsides to further expose the rocks and ice of the alpine environment. Dingboche will become our home for the next 2 nights, whilst we again spend vital time acclimatising to the thin oxygen at altitude. Although our steps feel heavier by the metre, it also tells us that Mount Everest and base camp is drawing nearer.